How's it going, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning into this video. And for the past couple weeks, I can hear you guys in the comments just screaming, where the hell is all the 6.5 stuff? You're posting a whole bunch of four-wheeler stuff. Where's all the 6.5 stuff? That's what we're here to see, at least the vast majority of you. Well, to bring everybody up to speed before we get to the topic at hand, I just had my first child, my first baby girl. So I thank you to all in advance, and who said thank you for when my daughter was born. I've been absolutely busy just dealing with that and dealing with a couple other things around the house. But I just want to thank you, all of you, for being patient. And as I'm uploading this video, I am trying to respond to the majority of y'all, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, or in the comments of other YouTube videos that I've made. So as far as staying busy goes, let me bring y'all up to speed again before we get into the project at hand today. Julie is running like an absolute champ, so thank you, big girl. We're depending on you. Keep it up. My crew cab, other than me not touching it as of recent, some things are going on in the background with this, so this thing is not dead forever. It will be going back together, just unfortunately not anytime soon. Unfortunately, the 95 extended cab 3/4 ton, I think I spoke too soon. Unfortunately, when I installed the turbo from my crew cab on this, I forgot to back the wastegate down, and now it's making milkshakes. Yeah, so it's unfortunate, but I'm gonna have to do a head gasket job on this. And I also believe the timing chain has stretched, so that's the rough idling, rough running issues. So this will be getting head gaskets and a timing chain at some point. I bought this off my next door neighbor the other day, 91 Honda Civic, for $100 because he was wanting to get it out of his dooryard. So can't go wrong with $100. Even if I wanted to turn around and just sell it, I know I could get all my money back out of that. Just needed a battery and a fuel filter, and it fired right up. So awesome on that. Since this one is down for the count right now, plan on getting this going, and this being my daily driver for the time being until I can do something with this. But this is not my primary priority. And on to the topic of today, the wife's 97 crew cab 3500. So as you can see, a lot of progress has been made. Been doing a lot in the background. I got all the parts from it laying over here on the trailer. Love having a nice workbench to lay everything out. But the bed off this one I got on the extended cab. I got rid of all that scrap metal that was on the trailer. Was able to put the bed on that one for the time being. But this is what I've been working on all day. Wanted to get a little more done, but nevertheless, the cab is now completely off the truck. The bed is off. The frame is completely exposed. So what I want to do is get the cab maybe up a little further, get the frame out here, and make some of you northern boys drool a little bit. Believe me, I'm from Maine, and I know that a 97 up in Maine would not look this clean once I get all the dirt and the grime off the frame. But just, this has been a lot of work doing it by myself. And I know I've had a bunch of you in the comments, you're like, man, I wish I could come out and help you and stuff like that. You know, I would absolutely love the help. The problem is that when it comes down to it, nobody ever wants to come out and help me, or everybody's too busy. So I always just do things myself because I know they're going to get done at least the way that I want them to, even if it's quite a bit more work on my end. So I'm gonna get the cab, lift it up a little more. I got to buy some sawhorses to put the cab on because I do not like it up that high, swinging just held on by ratchet straps. I'm gonna get the frame out here and power wash it, and again, let you guys up north there drool over how clean this is. So before I get the frame hooked up to old dually here, I just kind of want to go over what I've done to get to this point. I ripped the entire wiring harness out of it, fuse box, and the connections inside the cab going to the ECU. Just got everything out of the way so I can go through it on the bench and make sure all the wires are good. I can go from pin to pin or fuse to pin and make sure everything is good there. So I wanted to get that out of the way. Obviously, I took the inner fenders out. Those are pretty easy. Those are just 14 bolts on each side. I got the fenders themselves off. To get them off, there's just 2 bolts here, 1 bolt here, and 1 bolt here. And then if you still have the little front mount hooked up, it's 1 screw. Get the ABS controller disconnected. That's usually on a mount. I don't want to fuck around with the lines, so I'm just going to leave this in place and lift them up and trash bag them for when I go to paint the frame. All of this work was to get to prepping and painting the frame. I got to get the exhaust the rest of the way out there. Left the tail light harness in place. You have to disconnect the steering linkage. There's just 1 bolt that holds the end of this down to the power steering box or steering gear box, and then got rid of all the coolant hoses, got them over there. You can see that hole right there is where your wiring harness goes through. And then there are 6 cab mounts. They all go right here, right there, and right there. The other 3 are on the other side. Get them out of the way, and then you can go ahead and get rid of or disconnect your e-brake. Get that disconnected in the cab up at the pedal, and then as well as the hood latch. Also, with the wiring harness, you're going to take this plug out, and once you get this plug out, it no longer wraps all the way across the firewall. You can just get it set over there, and then your hydro boost lines up here, disconnect those and get your brake lines out of the way here, and just leave that with the cab. Once you get that done, you can go ahead and just lift your cab up, and now we'll get the frame out from underneath the truck so I can pressure wash this thing. Tell you what, fellas, without that cheap ass engine hoist or A-frame, whatever the fuck you want to call it, I call it a gantry, this job would not have been possible. I didn't want it swinging up in the air, so I just put it on the ground for now. I need to get some sawhorses so I can paint the cab and stuff, because this thing is not staying white. But now let's get on to pressure washing the frame here. Alright, y'all, I finally finished up washing the frame. I'm dirtier than hell. So, look at that. I know my father-in-law would be drooling over how clean this frame is. I know growing up in Maine, none of the 90s body style trucks look this nice, or at least their frames look this nice, unless they were garage kept and they were never used. But this one's been used. I mean, the cab and the motor had 200,000 miles on it, and this frame is just awesome. I would have killed to have this from my old black crew cab, but I got it for this one. So we're nice job, doggy. We're about to really start pounding this one out. The next will be getting the frame painted, and then I gotta put suspension on. So that will be the next couple videos. The 6.5 videos will start coming out again. But I appreciate y'all for being patient and me responding to your comments, where I just had my baby girl. We've been busy, but nonetheless I will respond to you at some point. So time to get back on the 6.5 stuff. So I will catch you guys in the next one.